Hello, welcome to my political news opinion review of major news from December of 2020. This series is where I provide some opinion and coverage to major news stories from the previous month. This is done to provide the people with a method to hold myself accountable as I act in the capacity of a politician. This is essential as the people need to know my reactions to what is occurring around us, and to ensure that everybody is able to keep track of current events. In this video, I will talk about the following news stories. COVID-19 vaccines begin to distribute. Electoral College confirms presidential results without a faithless elector. The fight for a sizable COVID relief check and presidential vetoes to obtain it. Trump openly considering pardoning his family, and Department of Justice investigate bribery in the Trump administration. And New York Governor Andrew Cuomo accused of sexual harassment. In December, vaccines began to be administered to nurses, high-level political figures, and many more, with mass distribution plans starting to take effect by the end of that month. After a months-long pandemic, it was great to finally be bringing out a way to neutralize the disease which had ruined life around the world. Many people publicly took the vaccine in order to demonstrate their safety due to various conspiracies that had arisen during the development of the vaccine. The development of such a vaccine is amazing and demonstrates the ability science holds when we aggressively pursue these goals. With the standardization of the distribution of these vaccines, we will see a return of a world of new normals, positive new normals. I beg all those eligible to receive the vaccine to schedule an appointment despite the reported obstacles. Early in December, the Electoral College met and confirmed Joseph R. Biden as president-elect, duly elected by the citizens of the United States, without a single elector voting contrary to their pledge. This came despite efforts from President Donald J. Trump to overturn the election via the undemocratic process of faithless electors. The Electoral College did the right thing, but the fact that such a process exists to overturn the popular vote in the United States is horrible. We must vastly reform the Electoral College so that the arguments to keep the institution even ring true. Under its current system, it neither protects the smaller states nor the popular vote winner. And as such, significant reform must be undertaken so as to ensure proper representation of both. My personal preference is to reform to a proportional system of allocation, though I am sure that other systems could work better. Last month, Congress finally came to an agreement to pass COVID relief with $600 stimulus checks being sent out to American citizens. President Trump vetoed this, along with a military spending bill, claiming to want $2,000 stimulus checks instead. This was a good act from a terrible president, and disingenuous, if anything, as many progressives had called for $2,000 checks long before the bill reached the president. While both bills stood in a state of limbo, Senator Bernie Sanders made a commitment to push for better COVID relief checks. This was an amazing yet long-shot commitment, as both bills held veto-proof majority support in both chambers. As such, this challenge by Sanders and allies unfortunately did not work out in the end. However, this fight was important. In the end, President Trump agreed to $600 checks in exchange for better stimulus payments to come in the following months into Biden's administration, though something Trump failed to acknowledge at the time. This amounts to folding whenever it comes to Congress, as promises are rarely kept to each other. Though more so, Republicans break such political promises, more specifically Mitch McConnell. In December, reports arose concerning the possibility of President Trump pardoning his family members and personal lawyer. It should be noted that no innocent person would be in need of a presidential pardon unless wrongly convicted. Unlikely for rich, white, connected individuals such as the Trumps. As such, Trump openly considering these pardons obviously and rightly throws suspicion onto his family and lawyer. In other, likely unrelated, pardoning news, the Department of Justice was confirmed to have been investigating the possibility of bribery for presidential pardons scheme within the Trump administration. This is obviously highly likely, as the Trump administration is one of the most corrupt governments to exist in all history and the world. In December, Andrew Cuomo was accused of sexual harassment, and I feel that Cuomo likely did sexually harass this woman who worked for Cuomo in his capacity as governor for many years. The victim revealed this information over Twitter, and is Lindsey Boylan, a Democratic politician who lists her work for the governor as the worst job she ever had. Ms. Boylan shared this information publicly through Twitter due to wanting to validate the experiences of other women and likely to object to the motion being considered at the time that Cuomo join the Biden administration. She has refused to speak with journalists about her experiences, likely due to not wanting to relive dark moments in her lifetime, and also likely due to Cuomo's good relationship with the news media, evidenced by Governor Cuomo's brother being a notable CNN anchor. Governor Cuomo should be under more scrutiny for this accusation, and pushes for resignation should occur if evidence surfaces, as has occurred when conservatives have been accused. Cuomo is a terrible man who has benefited greatly from having a governor as a father and a journalist as a brother. Please like this video, share it with family and friends, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, making sure to hit the bell icon. Please also check out my social media. Instagram, @LopezForChange, Twitter, @LopezForChange, Snapchat, @Lopez4OKillWV, and Facebook, facebook.com/Colby.Lopez.12, which all should be linked in the description. Please stay safe and de-stress. I am Colby Lopez, and I approve this message.